Okay, well, you can get back to the whole Buddhite, the third version of spirit. First of all, science is finding that mind is a real force outside of the body. I don't have to go over all that, but you can get to it yourself. People understand their own connection to the one mind by meditating and feeling it from within. And the year of the fire horse and all astrology and all that talks about higher understanding of wisdoms. And if you don't want to go there as a materialite, just take it as a personal sense of beingness and coming into being, because it gets to the same place. A logic of why we're intrinsically benevolent and lucid. This is what our nature is, understanding and compassionate. Um, but then, so then there's the people that believe in and have felt the touch of Jesus and Jehovah. And there was a place when I was envisioning all this that I saw how it all came about. Like there was a moment in time where first Sophia came into being, and then other energies, and among those was Jehovah, and he was the first one that actually was a union with Sophia that created the Big Bang. It's a nice metaphor or vision if you wanted to look at it that way. So let's get to all that, because right now where we are is a global situation that if you take all that into account, it starts to maybe make sense, because it's that critical. It's that critical. And all of us are kind of stuck in a materialist box, and even more in the matrix of being on virtual and waiting for our food to come pre-processed, almost as if automatic, and losing our touch with each other and the earth. And then how we try to change it. You've got everybody still in their boxes talking from their perspectives as professors or leaders of different industries, and it's hard to get outside the box of that, and people feel like it's being done to them. And so they look to their leaders, and their leaders are themselves in another box, because you get to be the leader of a politics, and really all you're doing is trying to do maintenance as best you can and maybe let the economy thrive, whatever kind of economy there is. So then left wants to change the economy using government, and that's a disconnect that makes it worse for everyone. This is why the left has lost its ground politically. But now the right obviously doesn't have the whole picture if they're not taking into account left-wing values. So we're into a political situation right now that's got us in peril, because both sides are not quite making sense. The people want to see something happen. The actual leaders, I think, are the best we can do from America, um, because Trump, at least, is an individual that has intuition. And what he intuited, I think, on the one hand, was that the left wing approach was not yielding, was not going to get us there. The idea of institutions of expert professorial analysis rather than heartfelt, intrinsic, uh, experiential who we are in this, which is more the right wing approach. Somebody's been trying to reach me. I'm sorry. Had to keep my eyes closed for that. And I didn't need to mention it. But we're coming to a place where we're trying to understand ourselves politically, and both sides don't quite get it. But I think we're at least in a place where we've dismantled the illusion that we were going to legislate ecological wisdom and legislate social justice and legislate equal opportunity, because you can't do it. You have to make it happen on the ground. That's the right wing approach. That's why the right wing won the last round, because it really got scary for everyone, including the independents, as disconnected as the left became in their pursuit of institutional justice. It doesn't work like that. So, but the right wing doesn't leaves a lot of people out unless you bring the left wing values back in, and which include justice and bringing everyone in and having everyone be fed. But also, in the highest version of that, it's everyone gets to follow their higher, goals of wisdom. And if you disconnect the idea of someone just improvement from having that be translated into a profession that needs to make money, so how does that become real? It could happen in the context of a guild of whatever profession. That's where you could have kind of a selfless pursuit of knowledge, and we're all ready for that. And the idea that I'm talking about, yeah, I get smooth right into the practical. That's what the material life. Because if you're just going to get stuck in the spirit world, which I emphasize we should honor, because that gives meaning to the whole thing. And even more meaning is the Jehovahite side, which is the right wing. And the left, when they speak of higher values, they kind of have an institutional Buddhist approach, which is generic, and it's make sure, and it's like it's always so afraid of suffering. So it's interesting how they become. There's a Buddhist left wing, and there's a Jehovahite right wing, but this applies in the real world. So do you have justice that's imposed by a kind of deadening bureaucracy, which is the Buddhist approach? I hate to say it. Although that's where each of us can get to individually, and I suggest the Christians stop pointing fingers there, because, as I said somewhere else, it's really the reality of infinite existential presence in the now, and all of us being infinite, really, and yet there's such a thing as elder souls that come into being because it's a sequence, and time doesn't exist. So Jehovah might be real, because people experience it, and I've seen the possibility that that's how things happen. Almost a sperm and an egg thing, but it becomes experiential because there's no other way to exist than as a genuine somebody there-ness, even though there's primal versions of that. And we come to this right now with 15 seconds. I have to finish this video, but I'm going to come to another one because we have to do it in the practical world. That's what makes this ascension different. And the motherships are thinking, this is similar, but not quite. And what's actually going on?